Hi there, my name is Rachel, and today I'm going to do a super quick and super simple, very easy tutorial on how you can achieve just a very basic metallic look to lettering without putting in a lot of effort or a lot of planning. It's really easy to achieve. And you can always embellish it afterwards with extra highlights and details if you'd like to take it farther, but this tutorial is really great even for people who don't have a lot of coloring background, to just kind of give a little bit of extra flash and flare to their lettering. Both the pictures that I am using in this tutorial today come from Coloring Book Cafe's Christmas Vibes coloring book. And both of these pictures are also pictures which can be used for their 5-day Christmas coloring challenge. So I'm kind of putting this tutorial out in conjunction with that event, which is going on from December 13th through December 17th. Okay, so I will show you how I achieve this look. So this is going to be a really simple way of creating a metallic-like appearance to lettering. So to create this effect, I'm only going to be using two colors. I'm going to start off with a monochromatic metallic scheme here. So I'm going to take the darker of the two. I'm going to be using a green here. In this case, it's a forest green. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to establish a line that goes across all the letters. So I'm going to take that darker color and I'm just going to kind of go across. And it doesn't have to be a straight line, because basically you're creating what would be a reflection of a surface which may or may not be completely smooth and flat. And that just depends on how you want to do it. So I'm just going to kind of create a basic line across all the letters that just defines where there would be a darker reflection. And then I can just take that deeper color and just kind of lightly fill in underneath that line, the bottom edge of all these letters. So I have just the bottom edge of all the letters filled in. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with my light color. So really there's only a few parts to this particular technique, and that is you create that baseline that goes across where all the letters are. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that lighter green, and because I have a right-handed slant, I'm going to go in with a right-handed slant for this. And instead of coloring it in solid like I've done on the bottom, I'm going to color it in more almost a stripe. So as you can see, I've colored in, but not completely in, and I'm using the slant to make darker and lighter stripes basically throughout, and leaving some completely white. And then I can go back through and kind of deepen up some of those stripes. And sometimes I like to have it kind of go across. You don't actually have to, because this effect really just it gives a basic look without having to be really technical or exact. So you don't even have to have the exact same angle, because when metals reflect things, the metal might curve or have like a different light reflecting on it. So the important elements for this is you want to make sure that there is white left, like almost like a white line left between your light color and your dark color, to kind of establish it. Basically you're establishing like a horizon line there. Now I'm going to go back in with my deep color and I'm going to re-darken up that line to really give it a nice high contrast. And you don't even have to play around. You can just kind of do it all in one go if you want to just go really quick. Because like I said, this is really a basic kind of a technique that doesn't have to be super... It doesn't have to be super accurate. It doesn't have to be... it doesn't even have to have a high contrast if you don't want it to. And then you can kind of go in and give a little bit of that same broken shading to the under area, just as long as you keep that that line across to be kind of the deepest, darkest area. And you can even bring in some of that darker color then real lightly into the shading up here as well. And then if you want to make that light area a little bit deepened, start at the top and deepen more at the top, and kind of let there be almost a lighter, less defined area of color in the middle. And there you can see it has that just that real hint of a metallic look to it, like it's being reflective. That's doing it in a very monochromatic way. You can do it with purples, blues, reds. I usually like to use a much lighter toned color for the top, and then a deeper toned color for the base. You can even, if you really want to, get some more color variations in there. Now, if I was going to go to make it instead of being a monochromatic color, if I just wanted to make it like a golden metal or a silver metal. For a silver, I would just use black and a lighter gray. For gold, I'm going to go in with a light tan or a light gold and a brown. So I'm going to start with, in this case, I'm going to be using a burnt umber, and I'm going to start by making that line across the bottom. Then I'm going to go ahead and kind of fill in that bottom with my color, but make it a little bit lighter than where that line is. Then I'm going to go in with a lighter. In this case I'm using a yellow ochre light, and I'm just going to make, like I said, you can do it slanted, you can do it up and down. I like to do it just a slight slant to it. I'm just going to make it kind of a sketchy line. So now I've got my deep area, my light area. I'm going to go back in, I'm going to deepen this line. And it doesn't have to be a straight line because you're kind of trying to make it look like a reflection. And then I can go in, deepen this up, but give it just kind of that hint of a sketchy line there too. And I'm going to deepen up that top area. And then I like to enhance that gold shine with just a little bit of deep brown, because gold can have darker shadows in it. And there you have a very gold looking, very monochromatic colored one, very gold looking. You can even go ahead and get fancy and try out other color schemes. If you want to try out that kind of classic chrome reflection of sky and ground look, you can do the same procedure. Take a dark deep brown. In this case I'm going to be using an espresso brown. I'm going to get that initial line across my letters. because you're reflecting sky and ground, that deep line is going to be darker. So I'm going to take a golden and go down from there, get the bottom of those letters. And then to get that sky, you're going to go in with a sky colored kind of blue. In this case, I'm using a robin egg. And you're just going to make those initial sketchy lines, leaving some white areas, and just making sure you leave a white line above where that dark line is. And then you can go back through and just deepen up some of those areas a little bit. And you can always go in and try and deepen up that initial line too to get a nice deep dark. And kind of blend that into the golden below. So you can play around with it as much or as little as you want, really. So as you can see, you can achieve a simple metallic look with just a few elements, having that deep dark line that goes across the base of all the letters, making sure that there is a white line above that deep dark line, and then having a kind of a sketchy lined lighter color at the top where you have a few light highlights and a few shadow or reflection highlights in there to all those elements together kind of play together and give the eye the effect of having a shiny metallic look. It's super simple, it's super quick, it doesn't have to be accurate, so it's very easy to accomplish, and then you can always go in and embellish later on with extra white highlights, little shine dots, anything like that. But this is just the basic laydown to get a really quick and simple metallic looking lettering. That will be all I have for you today. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you very much. Bye bye.